everybody, it's Chef Sonia King of King Kreations PCS coming to you again with my life-giving greens. Ooh, because Easter's coming up, right? And that's what we want, you know, especially in the South. We like to have our greens with our Easter spread. So I decided I would show you how the Chef Sonia makes her collard greens or southern greens, because I like to mix my greens. I don't just have one type of green. But before I get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification button, because I want you to come back and see what I got for you. All right, so let's get started. All right, so obviously there are a lot of green recipes online, but I'm going to show you how to do mine. And one of the ways that I do it is the main way, because my husband was like, do that again. You know, I could just knock him out because he's one of my food critics. I mean, he's actually sometimes eating my food and just, yeah, it needs this or need that. But when he tried these greens one day, and actually I wasn't even trying to make it for him, it was just for me and my mom, and you know, you gone somewhere, because I don't want you to talk about my food. But he loved it. So what I have in this pot right here boiling, that's been cooking for an hour, is Cajun smoked turkey wings. And oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. Even my cameraman Gavin says it's good. So really I don't have to put any seasoning in here, but you know, you gotta season your greens, right? Oh, and also I use some of my stock. Yes, you need to check out my video on my stock. I'll make sure I put that up there for you. So let's get started. We got some collard greens over here. I like to use shredded collard greens. So greens are just like spinach. You know how you have spinach and you put it in there and you're like, oh my goodness, I had such a big bag of, you know, greens. But you gotta let this cook down and stir it down too. And then I have, like I said, I like to do a mixture. It doesn't even have to be, this is turnip greens. It doesn't even have to be this mixture, because remember what I said, a recipe is just a guide. Cook it the way you want, using your heart and your head, right? So this is the combination that I like. I've done it many different ways. I've done it with kale, mustard greens, collard greens. Obviously collard greens is really like one of my favorite ones. But you know, I'm going to put some mustard in here. So we're going to let this cook down some, so we can try to fit in a little bit more. See how much more we can put in here. So we're just going to let that do its thing, and then we'll come back. Okay, so see, look, I smashed that down, and we still got room, y'all. Still got room. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to get some more of the collard greens. I don't want to overstuff my pot either, because I don't want this spilling all over on the stove. So this we can have extra for later, but I just like to have a nice amount of collards to my turnips. Now, I just got to keep it real with you. You know, you can say, hey, Chef Sonia, is it okay if I get the bagged greens? Yes, get the bagged greens, because guess what? I get the bagged greens too. I do not like cutting greens. I just do not like doing it. Yes, they're cheaper, and sometimes you get the bigger and prettier ones. But no, you know, everybody's got their pet peeve, and that's one of them. So no, I do not do that. The only time I use the whole greens is if I'm making stuffed greens. Yes, instead of stuffed cabbage, I use the collard greens. I would have to really love you to do that recipe, okay? But I make stuffed collard greens, and oh my goodness, it's so good, because you get that tanginess, you know, savoriness of the collard greens and the mixture that I put inside. Yeah, I think I need to put that in YouTube too. So I'm going to mush this down some more, so that you all can see what's going on. Well, let's get that out of there. Stems in or stems out. It really depends on you all, because some people like the stems. If you don't, just take them out. But this is smelling good, and it's going to smell even better in a little bit, y'all. All right, so now here come the seasonings. I got garlic powder because I love garlic powder. You gotta have your garlic powder, y'all. Maybe not too much, but that's how I like mine. I got to put my onion powder in here. Just go around a couple times, and remember, you do as much as you want. Got some black pepper, cracked black pepper. Yes, and now I'm going to put some red pepper flakes in there. Now, actually, the Cajun smoked meat has peppercorns, has the red pepper flakes in there too, but I just like to put a little extra in it because that's what I like. Okay, and just a little red wine vinegar. You don't have to use this, it could be any kind of vinegar if you want, just to cut a little bit of the bitterness. Some people don't like that, then that's a little sweet. And so what I have here is just some good old avocado oil. Now if you really want to make this southern, and you really want to get up and slap somebody's mama, because your mama want to slap yours, right? Pork fat, bacon fat in the greens, okay? But trying to make some people happy today. So anyway, put that in there, baby, and you talking about taking those greens to a whole other level. Yes, yes, yes. So you see how this is coming together? Look at that. Ooh, it smells so good. And we gotta have some onions, you know. I like to put the Trinity in mine. And what the Trinity is onions, bell peppers, and celery. So I'm gonna put some of this in here. And I didn't care that my peppers are red, because this is my recipe, right? It's my recipe. In your recipe, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so we're just gonna let this cook until it's tender to your taste. So to my taste, it's probably gonna be about an hour, okay? It might be longer than that. So let's come back and see how it is. All right, so let's look at how these greens look. Some of y'all don't know how they need to be looking, right? So it's not quite done. Maybe to some people it is, but I like mine a little bit more tender. I don't want it mushy, but I want it more tender, okay? But here's the $100,000 question I always ask y'all. Did you taste your food? When I was in culinary school, they made sure we tasted our food before we served them, the chefs. Hey, why would we want anything if you haven't tasted it, right? So never give somebody something that you haven't tasted yourself. All right? So what I'm tasting is a little bit of the greens and some of that pot liquor that I was talking about, right? So right now I just want to make sure that the greens are they tender enough, or do they need to cook a little bit longer? And definitely I want to make sure it's my stock the way it should be. All right. That stock is on point, y'all. Let me tell you a little bit of something about stock. If your stock doesn't taste right, your soup isn't going to taste right, your greens aren't going to taste right, your sauces aren't going to taste right. So you have to make sure that your stocks are on point. Make sure they taste good, okay? My greens still need to cook a little bit more so they can be more tender. But like I said, some people may like it this way, but I want mine to be a little bit more softer. So come on back. Okay, it's time for the life-giving greens, y'all. Look at this, look at this. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, but I gotta taste it first, right? That's what I told you I gotta do. I gotta taste it. Make sure it's tender and delicious. Hubby's gonna love this. And I didn't put pork fat in here. Like I said, if you put pork fat in there, it'll take it to a whole different level. Because as Chef Emerald Lagasse used to say, pork fat rules, y'all. But this is good just as it is. So I'm going to take some of these greens and going to plate this up for you. Try to get some of that pot liquor off. Or you can just put it in a bowl and eat it with the pot liquor. It's really up to you. Those greens are really good for you. Ooh, look at that. Yes. So, how do you like your greens? Did you like them on the plate? Or do you like them in the bowl? You know, some people just like to have the just extra crunch. So you can put that on there too. All right, so let me show you how my mom likes her greens. My mother could eat a whole onion raw, y'all. Whole onion raw. And onions are very good for you. They're good for you on blood pressure level, and, you know, don't worry about the breath part. Just make sure everybody's eating onions with you. I'm Chef Sonia King with King Kreations PCS. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my life-giving greens. See you next time.